And welcome back to Halifax, Nova Scotia on a beautiful sunny day. Now we go into what you call the backdoor bracket, the B bracket. This is sudden death for both players. If you lose, you are eliminated from the possible prize. We're going to see Mike Kump, who we just saw in the controversial A bracket semi, going against Mario Zelaya, who's done a lot for the sport of axe throwing, one of the pioneers of creating the infrastructure, not just around Canada, but around the world.
Correct. He's the founder of the largest axe throwing venue currently, which is Bad Axe Throwing, and also the founder of the World Axe Throwing League, along with many other affiliates, now over 100 companies.
So here's the B bracket. Kump and Zelaya battling to stay alive, and then we'll see Casey going against Benjamin Edgington, a Denver axe thrower who's in this final six. Obviously Malvi and Saikon awaiting the survivors of this. Of course, Malvi and Saikon will go head to head as well to try to guarantee their spot in the finals. So we've seen Kump, we're familiar with Kump. What else should we know about Zelaya? If anyone, he's the kind of the surprise to be in this final six, right?
Absolutely. He, having been in the axe throwing community for a while, he's never officially competed before, and just apparently decided to give it a shot and is doing extremely well.
Zelaya begins. Did that bottom of the axe catch the outside of the black?
6-6.
It did.
We're tied at 6.
Not the most convincing bullseye, but it counts.
Yeah, we're going to see if any of the pressure starts to get to either one of them. Because again, this is for them staying in the tournament.
6. Tied at 12.
You contrast the styles in which these players throw. I mean, Zelaya's got the two hands on it in the wind up and then takes the left hand off. What do you see?
Yeah, as you said, he has the two hands starting just to kind of obviously get a little bit of that aim there. But if you watch his footwork also, he likes to follow through completely with his throw. As long as the axe is out of his hand before he crosses that line, then there's no footfall. But he likes to use that full body weight moving forward to help push that axe in the right direction.
4 throws into a 10-throw match. Nothing but bullseyes as we check in with Melanie.
Apart from their actual approaches that you were just discussing, there's a little bit of a difference between the two of them that you can't see on the outside. Now, for Kump, we just mentioned it, is that unprecedented having to come back and re-compete to see if he would advance. And, you know, of course, he didn't. Pops ended up taking it. So Kump now has to deal with taming himself mentally to be able to handle this against Mario. Now, for Mario, he actually hurt his back several weeks ago. He said it was bad enough to where he was on 2 days of bed rest, and it affected his throwing for several weeks. He said, I'm just now starting to come back to where I'm feeling okay and throwing normally again. But being on my feet all day for these tournaments has definitely had its effect. So curious to see how both of them cope with different situations.
Mario Zelaya is definitely the Cinderella of axe throwing in this axe throwing March Madness here in Halifax.
It's a shot 9.
Trying to stay focused and composed. The 9th shot, and Zelaya missed it. So it's a 2-point lead
54-52
for Kump. Remember, it's still best out of 3.
Remember the blue thing.
Because he has the lead, Kump's going first, and he missed the kill. So now that's a 2-pointer. So Zelaya can win it with a bullseye.
And he does.
Mario Zelaya comes back on the last throw. That's sometimes the price you pay for going for the kill.
It is much more difficult to aim higher. Those axes, as you throw them, are obviously with gravity going to start wanting to arc downwards. So having to throw higher makes it much more difficult than it even appears that to throw with these pros.
After one practice shot, each player gets a bullseye in their first shot.
We're tied, throw 2. Tied at 12.
A lot of axe
Throw
throwers,
3.
Evan, talk about the first time they start throwing, and oftentimes it's, you know, they were invited to a birthday party at an axe throwing establishment and they get hooked pretty darn quick.
6.
That's right. Throughout the country,
18,
over the past 2 years, across the world, really, axe throwing venues have been popping up here and there, and it's really just kind of the new, exciting thing to do. And you know, it brings the next level of excitement that you aren't able to get with your typical bowling or anything like that. It's just something new and fun, and instantly hooks.
Zelaya
6.
again living dangerously, but catches the edge of the bullseye midway through the second match in this set of 3. One thing I was noticing before we went on the air today was how the bullseye can get really worn out and how that can change how the axe will stick or perhaps not stick over the course of a competition.
Absolutely. Again, the axes getting in there, as you said, super early on. Those axes softening up the boards will really help long term, but there's kind of a sweet spot. You don't want it too warm because then they might get loose and fall. And no one wants a dropped axe.
Still tied. This is throw 9.
The depth of the wood is about an inch, inch and a half thick.
Correct. Just enough to be able to get a good portion of that axe in, but not bury it.
6. Final throw. Kill shots are live.
Here comes the coin toss.
Top Bobby, call him there. Whatever it lands on. Heads and tails. Call him there. Tails. Tails it is.
So now we just did a coin flip to figure out who was going to throw for the kill shot first, because they are tied up. And it looks like
Zelaya get a closer look. Just went for the bullseye. So we go to a third match. Each player has won 1.
Take your breath.
So they have the option of doing a practice throw. It's not required, but in this heated level of competition, I'd be surprised if most players take a practice shot.
These throws count now.
All right, 10 more throws to determine who moves on and who is eliminated.
6.
Seems like Mike Kump is getting back into that confidence that he was showing earlier. So that might just help him take this final match.
6. 6.
They have to leave the axe in the wall until the referee officially scores it. Oh, and how about that? It bounced off. We need our first instant replay the day.
That's right. Got a little bit ahead of himself. Didn't quite get on the blade there. Instead, it bounced right off the wood.
That's no points for Zelaya on the third throw. Gives Kump a little margin for error. Check this out. Left side of your screen.
24-18, shot 5.
You can see as the axe rotated, it didn't rotate quite enough and hit the handle first, which made it bounce right off the board.
He's good, he's good. Very good. 6. 6. Switch sides.
How do you
24.
learn the technique of the rotation of the axe?
There is a bit of a learning curve, but it's all sort of feeling. You can feel how the axe is leaving your hand, and as you do, it will get that proper rotation or not. A lot of people, all they have to do is adjust their distance as long as they're throwing and the axe is rotating. It's just a matter of finding where your foot needs to be when it's released.
6. 42, 36.
Earlier today at this Atlantic Outdoor Sports and RV show, we had a guy juggling chainsaws. And there's an important learning curve in that as well in terms of spinning them in the air.
Probably a little more than juggling an axe, I would assume.
Neither one should be tried at home without proper supervision.
Absolutely.
6. 6.
So Kump has stayed perfect.
Up by 6.
Now just a bullseye would win it. And that'll do it. So Zelaya doesn't even need to take his last throw. Valiant effort from Mario, but Kump